Mark Taylor-Canfield has an update on the election in Seattle. As we know, it was mostly vote by mail. In fact, it was entirely vote by mail, wasn't it, Mark?
Yes, you could actually drop off your ballots at designated drop-off boxes.
Right, but there were no voting machines. There was no stations you had to go to. There was no way that the Republicans could make the lines 12 hours long. So because it was vote by mail, it took a while for all the mail to get delivered and opened and read or tabulated. And you've got an update on your Socialist candidate, your Occupy candidate?
Yeah, there's actually several issues. Before I get to that, I should let people know that the genetically modified organism labeling campaign, which is Initiative 522, is still losing, but 51 against, 49% for. So it's very, very close.
And what percentage are still uncounted?
Not many, but one of the things that our new Socialist city council member, Kshama Sawant, was saying is that they are looking for, quote, unverified votes. In other words, people are sending in their ballot, and then there's a way of checking to make sure that your ballot has been counted. I talked to someone just the other day, a good friend of mine, and he said that his vote has not been verified yet. In other words, he has not got confirmation from the Secretary of State that it's been counted. But Initiative 522 is still losing, and they're still counting some votes, but there's not many left. The other issue that got a lot of national attention here was the SeaTac Proposition 1. SeaTac is a city just south of Seattle. They want to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. That's still actually winning, but by less than 200 votes.
Whoa.
Actually, it's less than 100 votes at this point with the last count. Wow. So things are very, very close. And then in Seattle, we have Proposition 1 also, which is public financing of city elections. And that, surprisingly, now at this point is losing by about 200 votes. So that's a switch. But the big news is that yesterday, the Occupy candidate, the self-proclaimed Occupy candidate, and the avowed socialist, Kshama Sawant, who's a teacher at Seattle Central Community College, has declared victory out at the SEIU Union Hall yesterday in downtown Seattle. And she gave her speech. She warned everyone, she warned the media that I'm going to give a long speech here. And then she quoted Noam Chomsky saying that if you're going to fight the status quo, you can't speak in soundbite. But during her campaign victory election speech, she did thank the Occupy movement. She also thanked a lot of small local businesses who supported her. And she is saying that her main priority is going to be raising the minimum wage in Seattle to $15 an hour. She also said that there will be a statewide initiative on that issue next year. They're already planning to do that. So she's actually tying into a larger issue that doesn't just encompass Seattle, but it was a switch in the vote count. As I said before in your show, she had actually conceded to me the night of the election, but now she's victorious, and Richard Conlon gave his concession speech the other day. He was very gracious.
Is she a socialist the way that Bernie Sanders is, as in Northern European democratic socialism, or is she a socialist in the way that Marx used the word in a more pure sense, or is she a socialist in the way that it was practiced by the former Soviet states?
Well, she is a member of the Socialist Alternative Party.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody can check that out. You can go to socialistalternative.org, and they are a national group. They ran a candidate for the Minneapolis City Council race as well, and that was Ty Moore, and he barely lost that election, so he also surprised a lot of people. But, to tell you the truth, Tom, I haven't interviewed her, really deeply on her socialist beliefs. She seems to be interested in using the political system as it is to get these issues across.
Sure.
So far, her identity as a socialist has not really been a big issue in the campaign. There are lots of, more mainstream type groups that are now supporting her just because she's brought in so much hope to politics in the Northwest and in Seattle especially, because there were a lot of people who kind of dropped out of the political system, especially during the Occupy movement, who now feel that they have a candidate who actually represents their issues. And, she had a very highly organized and effective election campaign. I'm writing about this over at Truth Out and Daily Kos. But she said that she was advised at one point by some political consultants to drop the socialist label But she told me, quote, I think I've been successful because I'm an authentic candidate and I stood up for what I believe. That's what the voters want.
I'd say the same is true of Bernie. And on our program on Friday, Bernie said that, if nobody is representing those values in the upcoming presidential election in 2016, that he's willing to step in and participate, which was really dropped my jaw. That's really remarkable. Mark Taylor-Canfield, thanks for the update.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Visit ThomHartmann.com for audio and video archives.
Broadcasting live from Denver, AM 760.
This is the Thom Hartmann Show on 960 KNEW and online at 960KNEW.com.